What's up, YouTube? So, we're back with another Mechanics Monday video. I've got Garrison with me, like usual, and today we're going to be talking about the Throne of Eldraine adventure mechanic.
Yep.
So, we're going to bring a card up, and then we're going to talk all about the rules around it. So, we're going to bring up what I'm calling Murder Knight, because I like to nickname cards. So this is Murderous Rider. Why don't you read it for us, Garrison?
So we're worried about, I guess, both pieces, right?
Yes.
So it is a creature. So it's Murderous Rider. It's 2 black and generic. 2/3 lifelink. When Murderous Rider dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Kind of the irrelevant portion to this whole thing right now. Yep. But it has an adventure. So that is Swift End. It does have its own name. Mm-hmm. And that is 2 black and a generic. It's an instant that is an adventure, so there's a subtype now.
There is an adventure subtype
Yep.
for sorceries and instants.
Yep. And that adventure says destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life.
Alright, so what do we got going on here? We've got a creature card.
Yep.
And when it's in the library, your hand, exile zone, graveyard, you name it, it is only a creature card.
So anywhere but on the stack if you're using the adventure, right?
Correct. It is not an instant. And there's other cards that are sorceries in the set. Those are only their original type. So when this is in your hand, you can decide to cast either the Murderous Rider or the Swift End in this case. Yep. So you're going to declare you're casting the adventure mode. So if that spell resolves, instead of going to the graveyard like a spell would, this goes to the exile zone. Now the flavor behind this is that the creature... The Murderous Rider is going on an adventure. Yep. So while that is in the exile zone, having been adventure moded, we're going to call it the adventure mode, you can cast that creature spell from the exile zone now. So why don't you come up with some questions for me, Garrison?
I guess it's the big one, and I guess this is what a lot of people are probably thinking about is, so what happens if I exile my creature? If it's just a creature that I have.
So if you have Murderous Rider in play and I exile him, you cannot cast the Swift End because it's not on an adventure. It's not in the adventure zone.
Yeah,
which is not a thing. It's just what I'm calling it.
It's more or less they created a new exile, kind of.
So we're gonna do. I made some custom tokens.
Okay. That
say adventure mode on them, or adventure zone, I think is what I made them say. So the card is still in the exile zone. If it's on an adventure, you could mark it with a die, you could mark it with some sort of...
Similar to, like...
The Karn. Yeah, the Karn exiled cards. So if they're on an adventure, you can cast them. If they're in the exile zone and they're not on an adventure, you cannot cast them. What else did we want to talk about? If you're casting an adventure and it's counterspelled, or doesn't resolve in any way, like the target's now illegal, has hexproof, it does not go to the exile zone. It goes to your graveyard like it would normally go.
And the thing, I guess, is so you can't cast the creature, put it onto the battlefield. Let's say the creature resolves and you choose to cast that. You can't then cast the adventure.
No, it's not.
While it's a creature, it no longer has the event. I mean, it has, I guess, the text to it, kind of.
No, the text is. It's ignored, basically. Okay. So that brings you to a good point. If you were to cast, let's say, Worldly Tutor, search your library for a creature card, you can find Murderous Rider. Now, if you cast Mystical Tutor, and it says search your library for a instant or a sorcery card, you cannot find Murderous Rider. You also can't find Swift End. Because, like I said, the adventure text is just irrelevant when the card is not on the stack. And what's really cool about Murderous Rider here is when he dies, you put him on the bottom of your library.
Yep.
So all of these adventure cards are basically built in 2-for-1s. You get to cast, your adventure side, and then you get to cast your creature side later, which is really cool. It gives you built-in card advantage. Let's say I'm playing Murderous Rider in Esper Hero.
Of course.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't.
He's playing it.
So I could cast Swift End, kill something, cast Murderous Rider, put it into play, Tyrant Scorn the Murderous Rider back to my hand, and recast Swift End. So there's a lot of value to be gained with these adventure mode spells.
And I guess that actually brought up a decent point too, was the fact that, so if you cast Swift End, and it goes to that exile, there's nothing that's stopping you from using and casting the creature card that exact same turn.
Did we forget to mention that?
Yeah, so
when it's in the exile zone, you can cast the creature.
Yeah. So
if it's on adventure mode.
Correct. So you cast Swift End, and say you happen to have 6 mana open, 4 of them are black. You cast Swift End and destroy their creature, and then you can play Murderous Rider as your creature.
Yep.
So there's nothing limiting you.
Yeah, there's no delay on when you can cast
Correct.
it from the adventure mode exile.
Yeah,
zone.
whatever.
Yep.
I think the cards are very good.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see that they're actually pretty top heavy on the power level.
Yeah, I think it's like the static abilities on Planeswalker.
Yes. I think they're actually going to be a little overpowered because you basically get to cast. It's 2 spells in your hand.
Yeah.
You get to cast one side and then cast the other later. So yeah, that's about it, right? I think we covered everything, all the mechanics. So
if there's anything we missed, please be sure to comment.
Leave a comment below if we missed something, or if you want another video about a specific topic, let us know, and we will answer your questions. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks, everyone.